Okay, Tim, I hear you cry, you charismatic stallion. How is it that timers work? Right, so let's get straight on with the program. Open it up. And first, we're going to do a very quick tutorial on how timers work. In fact, we're going to do a very quick tutorial on how everything works, and then try and bring it all together in a rather complex and long and drawn-out program. So, here's our form. You're going to want a label, which I've set to text 15, which is why it's so big, and you're going to want a button, which says go on it. You're also going to want this lovely lady here, the timer command. Just drag one across and drop it onto the form like this. Okay, and it appears at the bottom. Now, I've already got one in there, it's called timer 1. Now, timer 1's quite nice. You just need to know a few things that's in the property menu. The main important thing is the interval. That's how many milliseconds between ticks. If it's set to 1, it's 1 millisecond between ticks. I think that's how it works. Or is it 100 milliseconds to it? I know. They're normally, all you need to know is there are 1,000, so it will be a milli. Yeah, a milli. There's 1,000 of these ticks per second, and what it'll do is every time this interval is up, it'll run an event. So let's see what that event is. In fact, let's look at the code, because the code's quite nice. Right. So the first thing we need to do is dim sec as integer. Now what we're doing is saying a kind of outside of all the programming, so it applies to everything, dim sec as integer, sec being second. I'm defining second as a number. Other thing you need to do is when the form loads, you're going to want to enable the timer. You don't want it to be running through when the form loads. You want to be able to press this button and it works. So here you go. So now it isn't working. You know, like we use the textbox.hide command. This is the timer don't work when I only work when I click the button command. So timer.enabled equals false, and then when we click button 1, the go button, we get timer 1 enabled, so the timer now works, and we've got label1.text equals sec up here. But what's sec, I hear you cry? Well, what we've done is in the timer tick here. So every time the timer ticks, every time that interval of 1,000 milliseconds is over, every second, sec is going to equal sec plus 1. So whatever the sec is, it's going to plus 1 to it, and label1.text is now going to equal sec. So, does it work? There's only one way to find out. We click the go button. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It works perfectly. That's just counting up the seconds. It's got no commands to stop the timer. It's got no commands to restart the timer. So shall we put some in? Let's put some in, shall we? So we need to go back to the form, drag that one up to the top there. You're going to want to add another button in here called, who just calls it stop. And what stop is going to do is timer 1 dot stop. Timer 1 dot stop. Here we go. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure if it will. There we go. 1, 2, stop, stop. This is I'm not sure. If I press go, will it continue? 3. Yeah, it works. Brilliant. Good. Whew, let me off the hook. So there we go. So that's just counting up in seconds. If you want to restart it, now I know how to restart it, so there's no worry here. We just need to drag this one down here, add in another box button there called restart, make sure it's capital. Oh, there you go. Double click on restart, and this time we're going to want sec equals 0, and we're going to want timer 1 dot stop dot and dot enabled dot equals false. So we've disabled the timer and we've reset it to 0. And seeing as label 1 is sec, it will either, so we go stop, and if we click restart, now you see it still sees it through. What you're also going to want to do in here is go label 1.text is equal to 0. Let's play again. Go, stop, go, and then we press the restart button and it goes to 0. So there you go, that's a very quick introduction to timers, all in one cut as well, which I'm quite pleased about. So yeah, I'll post this up with the, and I'll also do list boxes as well, and I'll do opening and closing forms. So that's very quickly done.